You have been told that a high-fat diet is optimal, that butter in your coffee and red meat are the keys to cognitive performance. This advice is based on a critical, and for some, fatal oversimplification. The popular narrative around saturated fat ignores a fundamental variable: your genetics. For a significant portion of the population, these lauded superfoods are not fuel. They are, in fact, a metabolic liability. Approximately 1/4 of all individuals carry a specific gene variant, a variant that makes them fundamentally incompatible with a high saturated fat diet. For these people, the current dietary trends are a serious biological error. The variable in question is the apolipoprotein E gene, or APOE. This gene functions as the primary gatekeeper for lipid metabolism. It is your biological hardware, and it dictates exactly how your system processes dietary fat. The risk variant is designated APOE4. Think of it as an ancestral thrifty gene, which was once advantageous for survival. In the modern food environment, however, its hyper-efficiency at absorbing cholesterol becomes a significant liability. Research demonstrates this genetic trait leads to a critical inability to clear that same cholesterol from circulation, creating a substantial health risk. Most individuals carry the APOE3 variant, which processes fats with standard efficiency. In stark contrast, APOE4 carriers are what we call hyper-responders. Their system is programmed for hyperabsorption and poor clearance, creating a high-risk state on the very diets being promoted for health. This genetic incompatibility creates a dangerous paradox. A diet that is praised for delivering mental clarity can, at the same time, inflict silent systemic damage. This is the keto trap. So, for an ApoE4 carrier, here is the sequence. High saturated fat intake overwhelms the liver's capacity to process cholesterol. In response, the liver downregulates its LDL receptors, essentially closing the doors for cholesterol clearance. This means LDL particles, the primary carriers of cholesterol, are left stranded in the bloodstream, where they directly contribute to accelerated plaque formation in your arteries and brain. The initial feeling of wellness from ketones masks the underlying pathology, so users are anecdotally satisfied while their risk for cardiovascular disease and even Alzheimer's, which is now considered a lipid disorder of the brain, is critically elevated. Dietary dogma is obsolete. The solution is a contextual intelligence system that functions as your biological operating system, filtering all nutritional advice through your unique genetic hardware. This system operates on triangulation. It integrates static data from your DNA with dynamic data from your blood. Specifically, we measure your ApoB particle count. You see, unlike standard tests that measure total cholesterol, ApoB counts the actual number of potentially harmful particles, which gives us a far more accurate marker for risk. The objective is not to eliminate fat, but to prescribe the correct type of fat for your specific genotype. This is how we shift from a high-risk state to an optimized one. For an APOE4 carrier, the intervention is precise. Harmful saturated fats are flagged and replaced. Bacon, butter, and red meat are swapped for monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. Think sources like olive oil, fatty fish, and avocado. The goal is achieving metabolic health without the toxic cholesterol spike. This is the fundamental principle of modern nutrition. Universal dietary advice is not just suboptimal, it is dangerous. Without knowing your genetic blueprint, every single meal is a gamble. The era of guessing is over. It is time to operate based on your biological data. This is the only logical path to mitigating genetic risk and engineering your longevity.
METHOS. Your biological operating system.